You woke up somewhere in the middle of your life, wondering how you got here, and whether any of it has mattered. You did not plan to feel this way. You only meant to keep going, and somewhere along the road the years began to blur together. I am not asking you to mourn the time behind you. I am inviting you to hold the days ahead of you with wisdom, while they are still in your hands. So set down whatever you were carrying when you arrived here and stay with me for just a little while. You do not have to fix anything right now. You only have to listen. Take one slow breath and let your shoulders come down from where they have been living up near your ears for far too long. Before we go one step further, let me be honest with you, because honesty is where trust begins. What you are about to hear is an encouragement drawn from the Bible, a reflection offered to you in faith. It is not a private revelation. It is not a prediction about your life, and it is not a promise of any particular outcome. It is simply the steady comfort of Scripture, read gently over a heart that has been quietly asking, "Is this all there is?" And there is one short line from the Scriptures I want to lay underneath everything we say tonight. It comes from the book of Psalms, the 90th Psalm, verse 12. Listen to it slowly, the way you would listen to someone you love telling you something true. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Read it once more inside yourself. Teach us to number our days, so that we may give our hearts to what is wise. Notice what this verse does not do. It does not frighten you about the time you have left. It does not shame you for the time already spent. It simply asks for the grace to live the rest of your days awake, with your heart turned toward what truly matters. That is not a heavy word, that is a kind one. And tonight, that ancient prayer is being prayed gently over you. So let these words reach you the way the Scriptures intend them, as if the one who made you were drawing close to your heart and speaking softly. My child, I know where you are. I know you woke up one ordinary morning and felt the strange weight of the middle of your life pressing down on you. I know you looked at the years behind you and could not quite account for where they went. You remember being young and full of plans and so certain there would be time for all of it. And now you stand here, somewhere in the middle, wondering quietly whether the road went the way you meant it to. I have seen every step of that road, and I did not look away from a single one. I know the question that has been following you around lately. Is this all there is? You have asked it in the car, alone with the radio turned down. You have asked it standing at the kitchen window while the house was quiet and the day stretched out the same as the day before. You have asked it in the small hours when sleep would not come and the years felt like they were slipping through your fingers faster than you could hold them. I want you to hear me say something gently. That question is not a sign that something is wrong with you. That ache you feel is not weakness, and it is not failure. It is your own heart waking up and asking to be spent on something that lasts. The Scriptures do not scold that longing. They answer it. You have looked back at the years and wondered if you wasted them. You replay the wrong turns, the seasons you spent chasing things that did not satisfy, the time you cannot get back. And a quiet voice has been telling you that it is too late now, that the best years are spent, that the chapter worth living has already closed behind you. My child, hear me clearly. That voice is not telling you the truth. It does not speak for heaven, and it does not speak for the one who made you and loves you still. The verse over you tonight was not written for the young alone. To number your days is something you can begin at any age, on any ordinary afternoon, starting from exactly where you stand. It is never a closing door. It is an open hand. So when that old voice says the good years are behind you, answer it with the truth. When it says you have wasted your life, the truth says there is still wisdom to be lived today. When it says it is too late to begin again, the truth says this very day was given to you on purpose. When it says nothing you do now will matter, the truth says your remaining days are not leftovers. They are a gift. You do not have to argue that voice into silence. You only have to stop agreeing with it. So if you are listening tonight from the middle of your life, with a heart that feels restless, this is for you. If you have built something and you still cannot tell whether it meant anything, this is for you. If you have done everything you were supposed to do and you are still quietly asking, is this all? This is for you. If you lie awake feeling time move past you, unsure anymore what is even worth your hours, this, especially, is for you. You do not have to have it figured out to be here. You do not have to come with answers. You are allowed to come with only the question. Come as you are, with the years you have and the years you do not. I want to speak gently to the fear hiding underneath all of this. It is not really the years behind you that frighten you. It is the quiet thought that they added up to less than you hoped. You are afraid you spent your time on the wrong things. You are afraid you will reach the end and find you missed what mattered most. So hear the verse again, slowly, because it speaks straight to that fear. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Did you notice? This is a prayer for help, not a verdict against you. It does not say, you have failed to number your days. It says, teach us. It assumes you do not know how yet, and it offers to show you. Heaven is not standing over your past with a red pen. Heaven is reaching toward your present with an open hand. So let me say plainly what wisdom is and what it is not, because the world has confused you about it. Wisdom is not racing to do more before the time runs out. It is not panic dressed up as purpose. To number your days does not mean to count them with dread. It means to let the truth that your days are finite make each one more precious, not more frightening. A thing that lasts forever is easy to take for granted. A thing that is limited becomes a gift you stop wasting. That is what this verse is offering you. Not fear of the end, but tenderness toward the middle. The awareness that your time is real is not meant to crush you. It is meant to wake you gently to what is in front of you. Think about how much of your life has been spent on things that did not deserve so much of you. The worry that never changed a single outcome. The grudges you carried for years that only weighed you down. The approval you chased from people who were never going to give it. You did not waste those years on purpose. You were doing your best with what you understood at the time. But here is the mercy hidden in this verse. Wisdom does not require you to undo the past. It only asks you to spend the days you have left more truly than the days you have spent. You cannot go back and number the years that are gone, but you can begin right now with the ones that remain. And that is not a small thing. That is everything. I know you have measured your life against other people and decided you came up short. You looked at where others seemed to be by now and quietly told yourself you fell behind the people you grew up with, behind the life you pictured at 20, behind some schedule no one ever actually handed you. But the scriptures are full of people whose truest work began in the middle of their lives, or later still. The ones the world had already counted out were the very ones heaven was only beginning to use. Your timing is not your worth. The hour on the clock is not the measure of your life. So stop grading yourself against a race you were never meant to run. You are not behind. You are exactly where wisdom can still find you, and wisdom has never once arrived too late. Let me tell you what numbering your days can actually look like. In the plain hours of an ordinary week, it looks like being present at the dinner table instead of somewhere far away inside your own worry. It looks like the phone call you keep meaning to make, to the person you keep meaning to forgive. It looks like one slow walk taken on purpose, where you actually notice the light instead of rushing through it on the way to something else. It looks like choosing, just for today, to give your heart to what is good instead of spending it on what only drains you. None of this is dramatic. Wisdom rarely is. It is simply a life lived awake, one ordinary day at a time, with your heart turned toward what truly lasts. And I want to free you from a lie that has been stealing your peace. You have believed that to matter, your life has to be large, impressive, remembered by many. But that is not how heaven measures a life. A quiet life given to love, to honesty, to faithfulness in small things is not a lesser life. It is a wise one. You do not have to do something enormous with the years you have left. You only have to do something true with them. And true is within your reach today. The mother who shows up, the friend who stays, the worker who is honest when no one is watching. These are not small lives. These are wise ones. I want you to look back just for a moment, not with regret, but with honest eyes. Even in the years you call wasted, something was being gathered. The patience you carry now, you did not have at 20. The compassion you feel for people who are struggling, you bought that with your own hard seasons. The hard-won knowledge of what actually matters and what never did, you learned that the long way, by living it. Your past was not only loss, it was also a teacher, and you are wiser now than you give yourself credit for. So do not despise the road that brought you here. It is the very reason you are ready to number your days well now. So tonight, I want to ask you to set down a few things you were never meant to carry into the years ahead. Lay down the regret over the time that is already gone. Lay down the fear that it is too late for your life to mean something. Lay down the restless comparison that keeps telling you everyone else has figured it out. You were not made to drag those weights through the rest of your days, and you do not have to carry them one more mile. And about that quiet grief over the middle of your life, the sense that the years are slipping and you cannot get them back. Hear this gently. The point was never to keep every year. The point is to give your heart fully to the days you still hold. Time moving forward is not your enemy. It is the very thing that makes each day worth living well. A day that would last forever would mean nothing. It is precisely because your days are numbered that they are precious. So let the ache become an invitation, not a wound. Let it turn you gently toward what matters today. If these words have stirred something in you, you do not need to do anything dramatic about it. You do not owe anyone proof. You do not have to announce a new beginning to the world. But if you would like, take this quiet moment and turn it into a small, honest prayer. It can be as simple as this. Lord, teach me to number my days. Help me to give my heart to what is wise, starting today. There are no perfect words for this. The scriptures show heaven meeting people in whispers and in prayers too plain to sound impressive. Your honesty is more than enough. And if someone you love comes to mind right now, someone standing in the same middle of life, quietly asking the same questions, you are welcome to share this with them. Not as a demand, just as a kindness, the way you would hand a glass of water to someone who is thirsty. Now, let me give you one gentle but important reminder, and I will not rush past it. Faith is a deep comfort, but it is not a replacement for care. If you are struggling with your health or your mind or a weight that feels too heavy to carry alone, please also reach out to a doctor, a counselor, or someone you trust. Hope and help were always meant to walk side by side. Asking for support is not a failure of faith. It is wisdom, and it takes courage. And before we come to the end, let me ask one simple thing of you. Do not give up on the days you have left. I am not telling you the road suddenly becomes easy. I am not handing you a date or a guarantee or a tidy ending wrapped with a bow. I am telling you what faith has always whispered to the weary, that your story is still being written and the middle is not the end. You have lived through every hard season so far. That experience is not wasted. It is exactly what makes you ready to live the rest of your days with wisdom. You do not have to relive the years behind you. You only have to be present for the one day in front of you. And then the next one. And then the one after that. This is what it means to number your days. So as this message comes toward its close, I want to leave one thing in your hands to carry into tomorrow. Your remaining days are not leftovers. They are a gift, and they are still yours to spend well. Hold the verse once more, gently, the way you would hold something fragile and precious. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Whatever this season of your life has taken, it cannot take this. The chance to live the days ahead with an awake and honest heart. The middle of your life is not a verdict against you. It is an invitation, held out with kindness. I will not promise you a date. I will not promise you an outcome. I will not pretend to know the things that only God knows. You have been handed enough empty promises, and I will not add to the pile. But I can leave you with what the scriptures invite you toward, with quiet confidence, that you may learn to number your days, that you may give your heart to what is wise, that the time still in your hands may be lived, not merely spent. So lift your head tonight, not because every question is answered, but because the days ahead of you still hold meaning, and they are waiting for you to live them. Take one more slow breath now, and let this be the truth you rest on. The years behind you are not the whole story. The days ahead are a gift, and wisdom is still within your reach. If quiet words like these bring you peace, you are always welcome to stay close to this little corner, where we simply sit with the scriptures together. And wherever tomorrow takes you, may you walk into it with an awakened heart, numbering your days and giving them to what truly lasts. Peace be with you, my friend. Rest now.